A single moment in football history can create a record. A single goal can create a legend. A single match can change the future of an entire tournament. And after only one round of the FIFA World Cup 2026, history has already been written. Records have already been settled. New stars have already emerged. And some of the biggest football nations on earth have already sent powerful messages to the rest of the competition. From Lionel Messi continuing to amaze football fans around the world, to surprise nations proving they belong on football's biggest stage, to historic achievements that may never be repeated. The first round of World Cup 2026 has already given us plenty to talk about. Today on Ball Hub, we're looking at the biggest records, milestones, and historic moments already established after the opening round of FIFA World Cup 2026. And let's begin with the man who seems determined to make history every time he steps onto a football field. Lionel Messi? At an age when most football legends have already retired from international football, Messi continues to perform at the highest level. Every World Cup appearance now feels historic. Every goal adds another chapter. Every assist strengthens his legacy. And after the first round, Messi once again reminded the football world why he remains one of the most important players in football history. Argentina entered this tournament carrying enormous expectations. The defending champions know every opponent wants to defeat them. Every match feels like a final. Yet Messi continues to play with the same intelligence, vision, and calmness that made him a legend. For many supporters, simply watching Messi compete in another World Cup is history itself. But Messi isn't the only record story from the opening round. Because one of the most remarkable trends has been the attacking football on display throughout the tournament. Goals have arrived from everywhere. Long-range strikes, team combinations, individual brilliance, set pieces. The first round delivered exactly what football fans love: entertainment. Many teams arrived determined not just to survive. They arrived determined to attack. And the result has been one of the most exciting opening rounds in recent memory. Another fascinating record involves the continued rise of so-called smaller football nations. For decades, many people believed World Cups belonged only to traditional powers: Brazil, Argentina, Germany, France, Italy, England. But modern football is changing. The gap is shrinking. Nations once considered outsiders now possess talented players competing in Europe's biggest leagues. They have experienced coaches. They have tactical discipline. And most importantly, they have belief. This World Cup has already shown that reputation alone no longer guarantees success. Several underdogs have pushed stronger opponents to their limits. Others have earned valuable results. And some have become the surprise stories of the tournament. Perhaps one of the most interesting records already established is the level of competitiveness across the groups. In previous tournaments, fans could often predict who would qualify. Not this time. Many groups remain completely open. A single goal, a single victory, a single mistake could change everything. That uncertainty has created one of the most unpredictable first rounds in World Cup history. And unpredictability is exactly what makes football beautiful. Then there is another historic achievement: the expanded format of the tournament. More nations, more matches, more supporters, more stories. For several countries, simply reaching the World Cup was already a historic achievement. Players who grew up dreaming about representing their nation are now living that dream. Millions of supporters are watching history unfold. And because of the expanded tournament, football's biggest stage now belongs to more nations than ever before. But now let's talk about one of the strangest records ever associated with the World Cup. A record that reminds us why football can sometimes be impossible to explain. Throughout World Cup history, there have been moments so unusual that fans still discuss them decades later. Own goals deciding major matches. Goalkeepers scoring. Champions being eliminated in the group stage. Underdogs defeating giants. And perhaps the strangest truth of all: some of the greatest players in football history never won the World Cup. Legends like Johan Cruyff, Ferenc Puskás, George Best never even played in one. Despite their incredible talent, football's biggest prize remained beyond reach. Yet lesser-known players have lifted the trophy. That is the magic of the World Cup. It doesn't always reward the biggest name. It rewards the team that performs when it matters most. And after the first round of 2026, we are already seeing signs that this tournament could produce another shocking chapter. Another surprising hero. Another unexpected story. Speaking of surprises, several teams have already exceeded expectations. Many entered the tournament with little attention. Few experts predicted they would become major talking points. Yet here they are. Competing, believing, and forcing football fans to pay attention. Every World Cup creates a surprise package. A nation that captures the imagination of supporters around the world. The first round suggests that World Cup 2026 may produce several. Meanwhile, traditional powers continue to remind everyone why they remain favorites. France, Argentina, Brazil, England, Spain, Germany, Portugal. These nations understand pressure. Their players have experienced the biggest stages. And although the tournament has only just begun, many of them have already shown signs of strength. Their quality, their depth, their experience, all remain major advantages. Yet history teaches us something important. The team that looks strongest after the first round doesn't always become champion. Many World Cups have taught that lesson. Strong starts create headlines. But trophies are won later. The real battle is still ahead. The knockout rounds. The pressure. The moments where one mistake can end a dream. And that is why these early records matter. Because they give us clues. Clues about which teams are ready. Which players are confident. And which nations believe this could finally be their year. For now, one thing is certain. World Cup 2026 has already delivered history. Records have been broken. Milestones have been achieved. New stars have announced themselves. And football fans around the world have been reminded why this tournament remains the greatest show in sport. The first round is complete. But the story is only beginning. More records will fall. More legends will emerge. And somewhere in this tournament, another unforgettable piece of football history is waiting to be written. This is Ball Hub. And we'll be here to witness every moment.